Well, that was super fun. Hey guys, welcome to Rise and Thrive Together this Monday, April 8th. So, April 8th, 2024. And it is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lots of eights, guys, lots of eights on this special solar eclipse episode. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. I got my beautiful sister, Raquel, with me. And before we even begin, just in case you do not know who we are Rise and Thrive Together. We are a vibrant community committed to educating, empowering, and equipping you to get the results you want through real talk, through real actions, and real results. And you can find us on our social media platforms really easy. Facebook, Rise and Thrive Together. Instagram, Rise and Thrive Together. And on YouTube, Rise and Thrive Together. And if you've got TV and you have the Roku channel, please go find Laws of Life and then download by just adding that channel, and you can see all the amazing different webcasters there, and we're there under Rise and Thrive Together. So lots of ways that you can connect with us. I'm super excited to bring on my sister as we continue this month's theme of appreciating our differences and paying it forward. Hey sis, welcome to our 49th episode. And I think she may be a little bit frozen. She might be frozen. So, as we are having some technical difficulties because we had our opening didn't work out and Rock seems to be a little bit frozen, I'm just going to get to tell you that we are super excited to have a very special guest on today. Really excited to have her on here. She is one of our dear friends, I would say beloved second half, right? I'm super excited about that. And because Raquel was going to do her bio, and Nicole, I don't have the bio in front of me. I am just going to tell you that Nicole, oh my God, here I am, Tiraborelli. And she's a holistic nutritionist and life coach. She is speaking today on the story of healing after trauma. And we're just going to bring her right on and welcome Nicole as our guest. Nicole, come on in. Come on to the stage. Hello. Welcome to Rise and Thrive Together.
Hi, Regina. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome. Super excited to have you tonight. And like I said, I think it's the power of the eclipse. I'm a big person who's a believer in energy. And so the eclipse for me, and especially this special full moon eclipse, which is rare, right? And the energies between the last full moon and this full moon, we got a little bit of technical difficulties. We're waiting for Raquel to come back in. You were having a problem with your mic. I didn't have a bio here. So this is going to be the first time ever, guys. I'm excited to have Nicole share about herself, who she is. How do you want to introduce yourself today, Nicole? Go for it.
Okay. Well, you did such a wonderful job. Thank you for introducing me. Yes, I'm a holistic nutritionist and a life coach for our trauma survivors. I help people with holistic nutrition by helping them to regain their energy and relax their nervous system. And it also seems to help digestion and skin issues and pain and all sorts of things. So I really like that. Hi, Raquel. And also,
Hi,
I'm a life coach. I help
ladies.
people. Hi.
There seems to be a little lag on your end, sis. So we're seeing you kind of say something and then take a second. It's all good.
I think it's Mercury retrograde as well this month, right now. So that doesn't help, I'm sure.
Awesome. So I just had for the first time ever to introduce Nicole to introduce herself, sis. Between all the technical difficulties that we were having, Carilla's having a lag here as well. And I did not have the bio in front of me. We're having the guest go and introduce herself. So she is amazing to share about being a life coach, being a holistic trauma expert, I'm going to say, right? And helping people really work with their nervous system. So we are so excited to have you here. And again, the topic is appreciating our differences and paying it forward. I'm going to see Rock to see if you can jump on in here and see what you want to say to the viewers and how you want to kick off this episode of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Please don't do that. Hey, Rise and Thrivers. Nicole, welcome to Rise and Thrivers. Super excited to have you here. I had Nicole speak in my class, my general psych class, a couple of weeks ago. And she did a tremendous job. I'm looking forward to her sharing her story here with our audience. It's really encouraging, inspiring, and it gets you to think differently. And I'm sure Nicole is going to jump in and talk about nutrition and all that, but I don't want to take her story from her. So I will leave it up to Nicole to have the conversation about trauma and nutrition and how it can make a difference, in addition to some other stuff. So super excited to have you here, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Raquel. It was amazing to be able to speak at your high school. It was such an honor. So thank you again. I loved that. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I became a holistic nutritionist because I was really, really sick myself. Going through the journey of just being in school and the amazing teachers that I had, it helped me to realize that I was probably suffering from a lot of post-traumatic stress. And so they helped me to focus on what really mattered. I think that when we get sick, we try to focus on like what's the main problem that we're having. So just say our thyroid is being sluggish, so we focus on the thyroid, or we're experiencing skin issues, so we focus on our skin, or we're not sleeping, so we focus on that. But really, sometimes I think that probably 99% of the time there's something stressful that's happening that is underlying everything. So if we can help support our nervous system, that's when the true magic happens. That's when we can start to detoxify our body, start to sleep better, our digestion starts to work better, and everything just kind of falls into place. So that's what I help people do. I did that for myself as well. I was super sick. I had my hair falling out. I had rosacea, like these dots all over my face for 7 years that I couldn't get rid of. No matter what I tried, I was very, very inflamed and sore all the time. I had arthritis even. And I was only 25 too, so it's really strange to have arthritis and hardly be able to walk up the street some days and be in so much pain all of the time. I went to this nutrition school and I did a protocol on myself. And I remember just being in my car one day and kind of pushing down my rear view mirror and looking at myself and being like, oh my gosh, all of the dots of my skin had gone away and they're all kind of drying up and going away. And that was really exciting, and seeing all of the progress and my hair start to grow back and everything. So that was lovely. I found that though it didn't kind of help. There were certain things that it didn't help. So I don't think nutrition is the be all end all. I found that I was going through a lot of different jobs and moving a bunch of times, and my relationships seemed very unstable. And I was having a lot of panic attacks and triggers. So if somebody was being upset with me, somebody was like yelling at me or something like that, one of a few things would happen. Either I would dissociate completely and lose time, which isn't good if you're working. I was a server at the time. I lost about 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and I forgot to ring in about 5 people's tables at a very high-end restaurant that I was working at. So that wasn't good. It really affects your ability to work and to fend for yourself. If that didn't happen, I would get really upset. I would start to cry, or I would be really kind of unraveled. I'd feel very scared if somebody was mad at me. And I think it had a lot to do with my childhood and things that happened in my childhood. My nervous system and my mind were kind of primed to react to those things in a way where it was like life or death, where my body really wanted to protect itself, and it made it difficult to just go through everyday situations. So after I went to holistic nutrition school and I was able to heal my body, I needed to figure out how to heal my mind and how to heal that fear that I had within me. I tried a lot of different things, and not to say that these things don't work, just for some reason they just didn't work very well for me. I tried cognitive behavioral therapy. I tried to work with a psychiatrist on the matter, a really good one. I tried to do hypnosis as well. I tried a bunch of different things. And at the end of the day, what really, really helped me was something called neurolinguistic programming and timeline therapy. I did that. It was called a trauma breakthrough that I did for 6 months. And it worked so well for me that I actually became certified in it because I really wanted to help other people. I realized that it was helping me it helped me to stop having panic attacks, and help me to be more stable in my job. And the biggest thing that it did too was it helped me with my self-worth and my ability to love myself. It changed the way that I saw myself, even from childhood, which was huge. Um, I went even further than that because I really wanted to start creating better relationships in my life. I wanted to be treated a certain way and treated with respect. And I knew that had to do with the thoughts that I had inside of me and my belief system. So I used some character work techniques that I learned from an acting school that I went to before I went to nutrition school. I worked as a method actor for about 10 years. And so I use that also in my coaching. I help people on a deep level to create a character for themselves, where it tends to change the way that other people relate to them and that other people view them. It creates a lot of sort of magic in people's lives. And so I love to do that. I love to do that for myself, and I love to show other people how to do that after they've had a lot of trauma in their lives and they're suffering with relationships and things that aren't going well with them.
Wow. So you
Wow.
gave us like your entire story. We appreciate
Yeah,
it. I kind of want to
that's
go
my
back
whole
for
life
a
story.
second. No, it's absolutely great. I do want to
Thank
go back for a second. You said something interesting. You said that you sought help for your physical body first
you.
and then for your mental health. So if someone like you had a lot of things, you had rosacea, your hair is falling out, you had stress, anxiety. If someone has all those ailments, let's say, which one do you
Mm-hmm.
deal with first? If we're looking at the body first, if we're taking care of us
Yeah,
physically, what do you deal with first? Because that's a whole lot of stuff to handle
Yep.
and deal with.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if I could do it all over again, I would have done the trauma breakthrough first. I would have
Mm.
done that first. And I did try to deal with my mind before the nutrition stuff. I really did. And I didn't really get anywhere with it.
Mhm.
I
Can you
think
go a
that,
little bit more about why you would choose that first?
sure. Yeah, I would choose it first because uh, we're so stuck. We can become so stuck, especially after a traumatic event, in how our beliefs about ourselves, in that they're so negative. We become kind of like stuck in a belief or seeing ourselves in a way that's so unhelpful that our body and our nervous system is reacting to things over and over again in our life and doesn't allow for the body to detoxify itself, allow for the body to digest, or do anything kind of innately. because I think that the body can work really well on its own if we like let it work on its own. And that's the problem. So if we're constantly reacting to things, we're constantly getting upset on an emotional roller coaster or don't feel safe in our body, how is our body supposed to work? So I think that's the first thing that I would do. And to build the body back up, nutrition, I think, is incredible to do that. And even, to help with the nervous system, to relax the nervous system in the meantime, there's a lot of herbs that can help with panic attacks, in my opinion, that I really like to use with my clients and on myself. But it's just a band-aid in my opinion. Again, it's just a band-aid. It doesn't really solve the root cause. I think that nutrition can definitely help to build up the body, help to regrow the hair, help to give more energy and create less pain and everything like that. But the root cause really is the way that our nervous system is, due to the beliefs that we have about ourselves and what happened to us.
Well, Nicole, we have a fabulous question, and this is from Melissa Tyler. My question for Nicole is, how is her journey now? And is she still in the healing process? So if so, what are you doing differently since you've learned so much and are now helping with others?
What did I do differently? That's such a good question. Or what am I doing differently?
Yeah.
I'm definitely, always learning. I'm not perfect at all. I learn something new every day, and I hope that never changes. I'm never going to be like a perfect robot or anything like that. But I have really seen a lot of incredible changes and been able to gain so much traction and stability that I've never had before. I felt like I was always kind of building on a house of cards before, and things would just kind of get demolished under my feet every time I tried to do something, because I was ignoring what was really going on and I didn't know how to fix it. So what I'm doing differently now, I guess, I'm coming from a space where I actually like myself. I'm coming from a space where I think that I'm worthy, and I think everybody else is too. And I'm coming from, like a really deep knowing that I have something to offer the world. Because when I was a child and going into adulthood, I had this belief that I wasn't worthy, that I was garbage, that I wasn't meant to be here. I would over apologize. I would not be able to hold my own space, and I would feel really scared to do anything out of my comfort zone, because I just didn't think that I deserved it. And I was in a lot of really bad relationships too, that weren't in my best interest. So yeah, what I'm doing differently now is, starting a business for myself, which I never would have done before. I'm in a way healthier relationship with somebody that treats me very well. And I've been able to kind of hang on to that relationship long term, which is really good. I've held a steady job for over, I think, 3 years now. And so, like, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in my relationship and my job. I'm not perfect in my business. And I think it's being able to, the difference is too, is being able to forgive myself when I fall down or when I make a mistake. I don't view my mistakes the way that I used to. So if I made a mistake before, I would really beat myself up and tell myself terrible things and stop and run away or not move forward. And I think what the trauma program taught me was how to learn how to forgive myself and pick myself up and keep going, making every day like a new day.
So I've got to ask the question: how does one forgive oneself?
Yeah. Thank you, sis, because I was like,
You said
Yeah,
it. Yeah, you said it a couple of times, but some people in the audience may not know how to do that. They may
I
want to, it's just the how they don't know.
Maybe a
Exactly.
typical.
I think that the answer lies in being able to change our limiting beliefs about ourselves on a really deep level and understanding where that comes from and then how to change that. Because I think, you know, being able to identify the thing that happened to us, because I think everybody has trauma, everybody has something that they're struggling with. Um, we kind of get caught up in this person did this thing to me, or this happened to me and it was outside of my control. And yes, it was. And maybe somebody did do something to you, and that's terrible. Um, and I think that the real thing that I found that holds people up with trauma, or that held me up, was that it changed my belief about myself, about what I thought about myself. So, yes, this thing happened to me, and yes, it was out of my control, and yes, it wasn't my fault. But at the end of the day, what was important, the thing that was causing, I believe that was causing the panic attacks and was causing all of the instability and all of the chaos, was that I had this deep belief about myself that I wasn't good enough, and that happened because I wasn't good enough. And as long as we carry those beliefs about ourselves, I think that um, you know, we're not going to be able to forgive ourselves for anything if we carry those beliefs about ourselves. And I'm sure that's
Okay.
probably, you want to ask the question, well, how do you change the beliefs about yourself? um,
Get to
but
reach out to Nicole, and she will
yeah.
let you know how, right? I really, what I really loved when I was listening to your full story is, as Melissa is asking about this journey, it's one of the things Raquel and I speak about, and we share often to all of our audiences. We are lifelong committed learners. Like
Yeah.
right now on this show, it isn't like her and I or you know everything. Like we're on this show right now learning more and more. We might know of something, right, that seems similar, like we kind of, Raquel and I talk about limiting beliefs, or
Mm-hmm.
we do some work around that. But I really loved the neuro-linguistic, which I'd love for you to just take a second to share with the audience that might not know about that. And then what was the second one? It was neuro-linguistic work you did, and what was the second one?
The other thing is called timeline therapy.
Okay, perfect. Because what I
Yeah.
want to say is that for someone who's been in the field for a long time, I have never heard of timeline therapy. So that's what I want to share with the audience. We're always lifelong learners. And
Mm-hmm.
like the word perfectionism is so not in mine and Raquel's like vocabulary, right? She kept on saying, I'm not perfect, I'm not perfect, I'm not perfect. And I just want to share with you, Nicole, like, yeah, welcome to the club. If we can just like shatter when we shatter that whole, like I'd love to take that word right out, right? I feel like that's a big,
Mm-hmm.
if I can, say anybody who's on here, you can't raise your hand, but please write a comment. How many times have you wanted things to be perfect? How many
Mm-hmm.
times you're like, I didn't do this because this is, or you want it to be perfect and all those expectations. So yeah, let's just X out the
Yeah, and
perfection.
mix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd love to just, as time's going, because it's been so amazing, just a sentence or two, a little bit to let the audience know about neurolinguistics, and definitely a sentence or two about the timeline therapy.
Sure. Yeah. So neurolinguistic programming is really, I think, the study of excellence. So basically, they looked at all of these people, studied all of these people that were achieving amazing things, no matter what their history was. And no matter what they were kind of grappling with or their circumstances. And they took those things, those thought processes, and put them into a program. And
Mm,
so that's what neurolinguistic programming is. I think even Tony Robbins uses this
Mhm.
in some form as well. And a lot of motivational speakers use this to help people. And timeline therapy was, I believe, created from Tad James. He used it to like help people kind of, he discovered that people had basically a timeline to their life, so they know that they had a present, a future, and a past, and that they could kind of shift through that in their own way and be able to kind of relook at the things that happened to them and be able to get a different perspective on them later. I'm sure I'm not describing it the way that he would, but I found that it was really helpful in being able to shift my perception of myself on that deep level, on dare I say even like an unconscious level. That I think that's what needs to happen. Bruce Lipton, he says that he says that we have our belief systems kind of created for us between the ages of 0 and 7, and between those ages, that's when we're kind of like a sponge. And he says that we're in sort of a hypnotic state where we're just looking at, we're taking things for face value and then just creating beliefs about ourselves based on what's going on. So to be able to go back to that time and change that perspective on yourself, I think is huge. It helps, the rest of your life just play out so differently when you suddenly realize, oh, I actually am worthy. I'm not unworthy, or I actually am, a good person. Some people think that they're not a good person because of some random thing that happened to them, or some terrible thing that happened to them when they
Yes.
were children, which is totally not the truth, but it's what we carry as our truth.
So here's the thing. We can tell you that you are worthy,
Mhm.
but the key word that Nicole said is you have to believe it. You really and truly
Yeah.
have to believe that. We do have a comment here from Yvonne, and she said, "I've been called a perfectionist. I've learned to let that go."
Oh,
So
I'm so excited,
thank you.
guys.
Thank you for
Yay,
sharing
Yvonne.
that, Yvonne. Appreciate
That's
it.
awesome.
So that's what I'm hearing from Nicole, is that you've got to change the way you speak, or not, right? Because we're given a choice. And as far as, let me just go back, take one step back about perfection and whether or not we are perfect. What came to mind for me was something from the biblical perspective, is that we are perfectly and wonderfully made in his image. And that doesn't mean we strive for perfection. We're going to make mistakes. We were just
Mhm.
created wonderfully and perfectly made. But are we going to make mistakes? Absolutely. And Nicole touched on it when she said, we have to forgive ourselves. Now, my question to Nicole when she said that was, what am I forgiving myself for if somebody did something to me?
Yeah. It's crazy how our mind works too. It's crazy, because that's the thing, we internalize that when somebody does something to us, we can say that they're terrible people, or we can say all of these things, right? But really, at the end of the day, I think what we're really reacting to is how we feel about ourselves in that moment,
Mm.
and how we've been
Mm.
programmed to feel about ourselves since early childhood. I think that that's when we can really figure that out for ourselves. I think that the conversation and the situation plays out a lot differently.
Oh, sis, that brings me back to a way back
Okay.
episode. If you go back to the beginning of, we did the blame game, and you were
Mm,
brilliant with that, Raquel, with being able to say you got, you point the finger over there, one finger's over there, but the three are back here. So when you're blaming someone else, when
Mm-hmm.
you're in that upset, you're in that trigger. Brilliant, Nicole. Thank you for like just, having that download again, where that to me is always staying with me, like, look 3 fingers backwards, right? Look at those
yeah,
3 fingers. One out there, but the rest are maybe 2. And the 3 are back here. So where is it in you that's unhealed, where that word, that situation, that upset with that person, whatever happened, that circumstance, is really about over here that's unhealed. Oh, it's so brilliant. This went so fast, sis. Bring it home for us.
oh, that's so great. I love
This
that.
is so awesome. Nicole, we want to thank you. We're so glad that you put the work in for yourself and you saw
Yes.
Thank
your
you.
worth, and you will no longer let someone mistreat you. I don't care if it's a relationship, work, whatever. Once you know your worth, you are powerful and you are dangerous, and you will not allow others to mistreat you. Even you. You will not allow
Yeah,
you
yeah,
to
even yourself.
mistreat
Yeah.
you. Say exactly. I want to say thank you so much to Nicole. I also want to announce our guest for next week, Tax Day. What a great day to have our guest, Hal Eisenberg join us again. He is like a gentleman. I also want to add one thing.
Yep.
I believe on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And so happy birthday, since we can't do it on Thursday. So happy birthday. I would sing, but then, we'd lose viewers and all of that. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sis. There you go. Happy early
You guys
birthday.
are crazy. Listen, I know we're going over time, but like Nicole, can you just let people know how they can reach out to you, how they can,
Yes.
be able to have an opportunity to find out, tell them,
Sure.
give them all the
Yeah.
If they
So
want to do coaching with
everybody
you
can
or
email me
whatever.
at Nicole. Sure. Yeah. Everyone can email me at nicole@nutritionaftertrauma.com. I see that it's in the post here. That's perfect. And I currently have a website called nutritionaftertrauma.com. Soon I'll have a website called riseaftertrauma.com as well. That's for creating relationships and even romantic relationships, coaching for that and trauma. And so I'd love to hear from you, even if you wanted to reach out to say hi, or if you had any questions or wanted to comment, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nicole, so much, sis. Happy early. And to all our listeners and viewers, remember, together we can rise and thrive. Till next time.
It's crazy.